one of the subjects that came up in the group was about weight gain and what causes weight gain. So I put together this list here. I did some research this morning, so I at least sounded like I knew what I was saying. And it is common weight gain causes. Okay, so these are not in order of importance. These are just, this is just a general list. So let's go through each of these things together. Number one, I put junk food. I wrote crap calories and overeating. Okay, this is a huge cause of weight gain, obviously. We don't really know how many calories are in these foods that are like soda. I had some veggie straws the other day. I haven't had those things in years. Completely useless calories, really. You know, things of that nature. Food on the go, you know, even things like granola bars and protein bars, they are not essentially very good choices. So these are categorized for me under junk food or fast food or, you know, food on the go. It's very easy to overeat these types of things. And so that would be a big cause of weight gain. Try to keep your foods as nutritious as possible. If you need food on the go, a good thing to grab is maybe some nuts or a fruit to go, something like that, or just eat well from your healthy choices before you go somewhere and try not to eat on the run. Number two is insulin. Elevated insulin levels from eating too often, eating too many carb-dense foods, having unbalanced nutrition, and sugar. Okay, those are all things that affect your insulin, and having consistently high insulin levels can create insulin resistance, which is going to be the next video that I do. That topic will be covered, which is insulin resistance. A lot of misinformation out there on insulin resistance, so I'm looking forward to doing that video. However, I do want to get a lot of research done so that all of the things that I share are true, and I'm not perpetuating the problem of spewing information that is incorrect. So insulin levels do play a part in fat storage and in fat release. Number three, medications. Mental health medications can cause weight gain. Also prednisone and some cortisone products, those will cause weight gain in some people as well. And so you want to just check with your doctor if it's your medication that is causing weight gain. And if you are gaining a lot of weight on your medication, maybe talk to your doctor if it's bothering you a lot to switch to something different. I'm not giving medical advice. Do not come off your mental health medicine. But there are typically different choices for different conditions. So if you can, just talk to your doctor about that. Number four is leptin dysregulation. Leptin is a hormone that tells you that you're hungry or starving or full. So there is a theory that people can become leptin resistant. I do need to do some more research on that. These people would then feel hungry more often. Hi, Gina. Than they should. And so again, this can be addressed and fixed with habit changes, high quality nutrition. And here's the thing, like I'm going to get to this on the bottom line and end this video. But again, like, you know, what we like to do is we like to blame these things for our weight gain. You know, oh, I'm probably leptin resistant and oh, I'm insulin resistant. You know, unless you are medically checked for these types of things, hi, Natasha, then you can't blame those things for your weight gain. Okay, let's move on. Food availability is number five. There is food everywhere. My mom said to me one time, she was so frustrated with the fact that there was food everywhere. And she would say to me, when you can pick up food in the hardware store, when you're going to buy some screws or a hammer, that's when you know that we have just completely gone off the rails when it comes to food availability. Can no one go to the hardware store and not pick up a candy bar or some Tic Tacs while they're checking out? And see, the thing is, these products are addictive, number one, if they have sugar in them, and they're high profitability. So, since we are creatures of habit and most people are food addictive and love to just eat on the go, having those things at the checkout area in your store is smart because business people will make a really good profit on those things. I remember hearing at one point, the highest profit products in a restaurant are alcohol and dessert. And so if they can sell you more alcohol and more dessert, that really does change the profit margin of your meal for the business. So food availability, big deal. Number 6, sugar. The addictive quality of sugar. I was talking about this morning. Sugar affects your brain the same as cocaine. Imagine that. I've never done cocaine, so I can't attest to whether or not that is true. So I don't know about if it feels the same. I don't know anyone that would actually admit, yes, I did a study on that. And, I really do prefer cocaine over sugar. It really does, get the job done a little better. But sugar does affect your brain the same as cocaine. And it gives us a lot of pleasure sensing and pleasure, what's the word I'm looking for? Satisfaction, right? And so that is why we get addicted to sugar. There is a dopamine release in your brain when you eat sugar. There is also a dopamine release, believe it or not, when you go on social media and you see that people liked your post, people are commenting on your things. These situations and these businesses are not created just by chance. You see, Mr. Zuckerberg was a smart man who knew that this would create a dopamine release in people. So he then put together this lovely social media thing that would feed our dopamine, and we would become more likely to go on Facebook and social media more and more and more for that dopamine release and satisfaction. So sugar does the same kind of thing. And so if you are addicted to sugar, we want to talk about maybe a sugar detox. I actually have a 5-day sugar detox program. So if you're interested in seeing that and maybe doing it together, let me know. Number 7, thyroid malfunction. If you have an underproductive thyroid, you can gain weight from that. So when you have your annual blood work done, you want to have your doctor check your thyroid to make sure that everything is up to par. And number 8 is stress, insomnia, and depression. These things can either halt your weight loss or they can, plateau you. So we want to make sure that we keep stress in check. We want to make sure we're getting good sleep because that is where your muscle gains come from. Growth hormone is released when you sleep. So it is very important, especially if you are resistance training, weight training, that you get your sleep so that you can get your gains. You get your weight gains and your muscle gains when you rest. Not so much when you train. You train to create the hypertrophy. When you rest, you build back up your muscles and you get the gains. Depression creates stress, and stress then can create weight gain. Okay, number 9 is menopause. Now listen to this one because this one is really important. It is more that menopause can cause insomnia, it can cause mood changes, and it can cause stress. The insomnia can cause stress, things of that nature. So it's not so much the hormone change. It's not so much that your hormones go down, but you will because of having a change in your hormones. You can store fat differently. You may store fat more in your belly area than in places that you used to store it, okay? But it is less about the hormone change that causes the weight gain. It's more so about what the going through menopause does to us. It creates insomnia. It can create mood changes or maybe a little depression. And all those things then incorporate stress. And stress is a huge factor when it comes to weight gain. Number 10, the last one, is medical conditions. Things like Cushing's disease, PCOS, congestive heart failure, sleep apnea, edema, which is swelling and fluid retention, and diabetes. All of these medical conditions can cause weight gain, and I am not a doctor, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Speak to your doctor if you have any of these diagnoses, and talk about ways to combat the increase in weight if that's what's happening to you. So let's pull this all together. Because the bottom line is this. The biggest culprit today in weight gain is that food is everywhere. I don't know about you, but when you go to a gathering, like I was in a book club, nobody came to book club without food. Even though the book club was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not mealtime, but you just don't show up to people's homes anymore for a gathering without bringing something, right? It has become socially acceptable to have food when we socially gather, or drinks, right? So food is everywhere. We do not just eat at mealtime anymore. Oftentimes people don't get together just for tea or just for going for a walk. You know, it's typically around consumption of something, whether it's food or drink. The other thing is we're just more sedentary. I've got this funky thing here with my hair. We're just more sedentary than we used to be. You know, back in the day, everybody mowed their own grass. People worked on their cars. You know, kids were running around the neighborhood and stuff. We didn't have our little social media dopamine releasing feel good smartphones that were just feeding our brains all these happy feelings and happy chemicals. People were just more active previously. So food is everywhere. We are more sedentary than we used to be. And the food that we have today is a lot more manufactured, engineered, therefore poorer quality and more addictive. Back when the whole fat loss thing, you know, everybody was, remember when margarine came out? Is anybody old enough to remember that? You know, fat was bad. And there was this decision made by the government so that factory farming could be government subsidized, and fat was bad. And so then everything started to go to fat-free. We had fat-free this and fat-free that, and fat-free Twinkies and fat-free cakes and fat-free coffee creamer and all these genetically or all of these engineered foods and manufactured weird things because fat was supposedly bad. And what we know now today, thankfully, is that these products are not healthy. We're better managing calorically with natural foods. If you're going to have half and half, it's better to have the half and half, not some strange modified thing that's supposed to be a fat but doesn't have fat in it, and it has some carrageenan and a bunch of other wacky stuff in it, okay? So the biggest way to combat any weight gain, regardless of any of these things, any of these conditions, is to monitor how much you eat, move more. We don't need to be athletes, and we don't need to starve ourselves. The simplest things can create change. Eat greens and vegetables every day. Drink your water. Drink plenty of it. Get up and move. I just got this really cool new watch because my watch died. And this is such a cool thing. It has GPS and everything on there. And I purposely set it to vibrate and say, get up off your tush and get some more steps in. Is that annoying? Absolutely. But I'm trying to get more moving and get more activity through my day, so I'm not just sitting here on my ass talking to my phone and thinking anybody gives a shit about what I'm saying. All right, guys. So that's the biggest thing about everything here is, you know, if you're going to bring food somewhere, bring some nutritious quality food. Bring a salad, bring a quinoa salad, bring some tabbouleh, bring something interesting, even if it's just for you. You know, people say to me sometimes, gosh, I go to my friend's house and every time there's, you know, all this like not nutritious food there. Be the one who brings the nutritious food. Maybe you'll start a movement, you know. If nothing else, it can be the thing that you eat. Okay, so that's all I have for today. I hope you all had a great weekend. My next video will be about insulin resistance. If you have any topics that you want discussed, please feel free to put up a post in the group. Thank you so much for inviting your friends to the group. This group is growing and it's so exciting to me. And maybe we'll do a sugar detox together. Let me know if you have any interest in that. All right, I'll see you soon. Have a good day.